Duke Xianggong of the Song dynasty? 637 BC, whose given name was Zizifu, was the monarch of the Song dynasty in the spring and autumn period and one of the 5 hegemons of the spring and autumn period. The Song dynasty was a small country, and Song Xianggong did not have any great deeds that would make him famous throughout the ages. When the power of the king of Zhou weakened, the princes and heroes were arguing and wars were frequent. Song Xianggong still advocated the practice of benevolence and righteousness throughout his life, and advocated using this to win the position of leader of the Central Plains Alliance. Zifu, the eldest son born to Mrs. Song Huan, the wife of Song Huangong, the king of the Song dynasty during the spring and autumn period, was the natural heir to the throne in accordance with the eldest son inheritance system of that era. Zifu, as the rightful successor, also maintained a deep respect for the son of his father's second wife, Mui. In an unprecedented gesture, Zifu begged his father allow him to give up his own position as prince. Give the crown prince position to his half-elder brother Mui. Citing Mui's seniority, loyalty, and benevolence. Zifu earnestly stated, Mui is older than me and is loyal and benevolent. Please appoint Mui as the king. However, Mui, demonstrating his own integrity, declined the offer. Accepting the role of prince, Mui expressed, isn't it the greatest benevolence for my younger brother to give up the country to me? No matter how benevolent I am, I can't surpass my younger brother. Besides, it is not in line with the system to abolish the direct line and establish a son of concubine as ruler. To avert his younger brother's resignation, Mui eventually fled to Weigua. Despite Mui's departure, Zifu retained his position as prince, and his reputation for benevolence and righteousness resonated widely. His remarkable act of selflessness and loyalty became a lasting testament to the virtue and honor of the Song dynasty during that tumultuous period. In 651 BC, following the demise of Duke Huan of the Song dynasty, Prince Zifu ascended to the throne, becoming Duke Xianggong of the Song dynasty. Duke Xianggong appointed his ELD brother Mui as the prime minister, entrusting him with military and political responsibilities and seeking his assistance in governance. The bond between the two brothers was notably strong. In a demonstration of regional diplomacy, Duke Xianggong attended a meeting of various princes and kings in Kuaiqiu to forge an alliance. Post-alliance, Duke Huan of Qi entrusted Duke Xiang of Song with the responsibility of overseeing the well-being of Prince Zhao of Qi. In 643 BC, Duke Huan of Qi, the first-generation lord of the spring and autumn period, succumbed to a severe illness. The ensuing power struggle among Duke Huan's 5 sons plunged the state of Qi into chaos. Seeking refuge, Prince Zhao of Qi fled to the Song state and implored Song Xianggong for assistance. Despite the relative weakness of the Song state at that time, Duke Xianggong, bound by the trust placed in him by Qi Huangong, resolved to exert his utmost efforts to aid Prince Zhao in returning to Qi's state and ascending the throne. In 642 BC, Duke Xianggong of the Song dynasty issued a call to the princes of various states, urging them to collectively send troops to escort Prince Zhao to Qi's state for his ascension to the throne. However, Song Xianggong's appeal lacked strength, and most princes disregarded the notice from Song, with only 3 smaller states contributing some troops. Unfazed, Song Xianggong led the combined forces of the 4 nations towards Qi. Facing uncertainty about the Song army's strength and moved by sympathy for Gong Zizhou, the nobles of Qi preemptively quelled internal unrest. Before the arrival of the allied forces, they warmly welcomed Gong Zizhou back to Qi, where he assumed the throne as Duke Xiao. This successful endeavor brought renown to Song Xianggong. However, triumph can breed overconfidence, and individuals may be inclined to exceed their capabilities. Duke Xianggong of the Song dynasty, inspired by the achievements of Duke Huan of Qi, aspired to emulate him by uniting the princes and establishing dominance. Despite warnings from Mui, who advised against using the might of a small country to unite the princes, Song Xianggong remained undeterred, setting the stage for potential challenges. In 639 BC, Song Xianggong convened with the princes for the first time in Ludi. Asserting himself as the leader of the alliance, Xianggong's stance sparked dissatisfaction among Qi Jun and the king of Chu. Adding to the tension, Song Xianggong unilaterally decided to convene with the princes once again in Yudi during the autumn of that year, proceeding without the consent of the influential Qi and Chu. Despite being advised by his ELD brother, Prince Mui, who emphasized the risks associated with a small country aspiring to hegemony, Duke Xianggong remained resolute in his ambitions. Prior to reaching Yudi, Prince Mui urged him to bring troops along, anticipating potential complications with the Chu, known for their unreliability. Duke Xianggong, however, dismissed the caution, stating, "I propose not to bring an army myself. I have made an agreement with the Chu people. How can I not keep my promise?" Consequently, Song Xianggong opted against bringing an army to the impending meeting. On the agreed-upon date, Duke Xianggong of Song and King Qing of Chu found themselves embroiled in a dispute as both vied for the position of overlord among the princes. As anticipated, the state of Chu had meticulously prepared its army in ambush, swiftly capturing Duke Xiang of Song and transporting him back to Chu, where he was subsequently imprisoned. After a period of confinement, Duke Xianggong was eventually released. Upon his return to Song, Duke Xianggong made the decision to launch an attack on the state of Zheng, which had lent its support to King Chu Cheng's claim as the overlord of the princes. Despite the counsel of Muyi, who attempted to dissuade him, Duke Xianggong remained adamant and refused to heed the advice. In 638 BC, Duke Xianggong of the Song dynasty led an expedition to attack the state of Zheng, prompting the latter to seek assistance from the state of Chu. The state of Chu, in response, dispatched the capable General Cheng Dekhen to lead his forces in an attack on the capital of the state of Song. Faced with this challenge, Song Xianggong was compelled to retreat from the state of Zheng, leading to a confrontation between the two forces at Hengshui, an ancient river located northwest of Shiqing County, Hunan Province. Taking a defensive position on the north bank of the Hengshui River, the Song army awaited the arrival of the Chu forces. Despite the suggestion from Muyi, the highest-ranking military officer, to launch a surprise attack before the Chu army could fully disembark, Song Xianggong declined to heed the advice. Even when the Chu army, having crossed the river and not yet organized their formation, presented a vulnerable moment, Muyi once again recommended an immediate assault. However, Song Xianggong insisted on waiting until the Chu army had established their formation. Regrettably, when the Chu forces were prepared for the offensive, the Song army initiated their attack. The delayed action cost the Song dynasty its best opportunity, resulting in a swift and decisive defeat by the numerically superior Chu army. In the course of the battle, Song Xianggong suffered a thigh injury. The elite imperial guards of the Song dynasty sustained severe losses, marking a turning point from which the Song dynasty never fully recovered. Following Song Xianggong's setback in the Battle of Hengshui, the people of Song state expressed discontent, attributing the heavy losses in the struggle for hegemony with Chu to Song Xianggong's failure to heed the counsel of his ELD brother, Muyi. They criticized him for disregarding Muyi's advice. However, Song Xianggong defended his actions, asserting, "A gentleman with a benevolent heart will not attack an injured enemy in battle, nor will he attack an old man with gray hair." He emphasized the ethical principles of warfare, highlighting that even in the face of imminent peril for the Song dynasty, he refrained from assaulting an enemy not yet prepared for battle. Muyi, in response, sighed and remarked, "The purpose of fighting is victory. How can we talk about the way of a gentleman?" Despite Song Xianggong's adherence to moral conduct in warfare, Muyi underscored the pragmatic reality that the primary objective of conflict is to secure victory. The differing perspectives between the brothers reflect the complex interplay of ethical considerations and strategic necessities in the conduct of historical battles. In autocratic societies, warfare becomes a last resort for politicians who turn to violence and armed conflict when peaceful resolutions prove elusive. These politicians typically prioritize the interests of a specific collective rather than the well-being of the people. An army that fails to represent the interests of the populace cannot be deemed an army of justice. As Sun Wu, the renowned ancient Chinese military strategist, asserted, "Military strategy is the art of deception. The utilization of troops demands adaptability and unpredictability." In this context, concerns about gentlemanly conduct may seem inconsequential, as the primary objective of warfare is victory. Duke Xianggong of the Song dynasty faced numerous setbacks in his quest to become the overlord of the princes. These setbacks were largely attributed to Song Xianggong's unwavering adherence to an outdated, aristocratic spirit that restrained him in confrontations marked by unequal conditions, ultimately leading to failure. This historical example underscores the challenges posed by clinging to traditional values in the face of evolving geopolitical dynamics.